Raleigh SCORE, in conjunction with Shaw University, introduces, Are you ready to start your own business? Session 1. Introduction and Expectations of the Business Plan. Welcome to Session 1 of our 13-session Business Plan series. We encourage you to go to the Raleigh SCORE website, and reserve your seat for all 13 sessions today. Please know, all training sessions will be recorded for your replay convenience. So, if you miss something, don't worry. You will be able to replay all 13 sessions at your leisure, as the goal is to ensure you have all of the information presented in this business plan series. To start us off this evening, please welcome Ms. Patty Williams.
Welcome to all of you, and thank you for coming to participate with us. Last fall, SCORE opened a location at Shaw University to do mentoring. And many of the mentors that are working with me came, sat with me, and business owners came in and we talked to them about their vision. But somehow we felt so inadequate when they left because we knew we hadn't quite done enough because we were limited in time. They only get 1 hour, and then we usually see them the following month. So a few of us got together and started to speak about how we could put something together so that we feel like you could go and start your business or have a roadmap to do whatever your concept is. So that's how this came about. We got together, and we know that the business plan encompasses the entire business. So I believe it was Bill Davis that said, if we make the business plan our focus, then we can touch on many areas. So that's where we started. We've been working on this for 2.5 months behind the scenes. And what we're bringing tonight and going forward for 13 weeks is what you will see that we've prepared for you. Our commitment is that we want to be sure that we give you what you need and that we give it to you in the way that you can receive it. We promise you that we will not teach over your head. If you need something at a more basic level, we will revamp and do that. Also, we are willing to have side sessions. If we see in the chat that there's a certain number of people that need something in a particular area, we're willing to go and build that and come back and teach it to that group of people at an alternate time. So we're going to adapt this to your needs the way that you receive it. And we want you to tell us what that is. That is our promise to you. I will introduce myself later and talk about what I've done in the past, but I did start my business from the ground. So I know where you are. You don't know where you're going. I didn't either, but that's how we have built this. We want to be sure that if you have nothing, that you know you can still build a business if you stick with it and you have a good plan. We have Dr. Lynette Wood, the Dean of the School of Business and Professional Studies at Shaw University. This program has been built in conjunction with Shaw University's School of Business. Hanif Omar has been our contact person, but Dr. Wood has been overseeing most of the things that we've been doing, and we've been checking in with her. So she's here tonight to talk a little bit about Shaw and to let us know what their direction is. So Dr. Wood, you can go right ahead.
Thank you so much. You all, it's just a pleasure to be here with you tonight to represent Shaw University and the Shaw University School of Business and Professional Studies. I bring you greetings from our president, Paulette Dillard. Dr. Dillard could not make it tonight, but she wanted me to convey to you that she wishes that she could be here. And she is excited about what's going on with this SCORE and Shaw University partnership. I appreciate Professor Hanif Omar working with your team to get to this point. And I'm so impressed that you all are going to be doing something that's very important, and that's working on the plan, because a lot of times entrepreneurs have great ideas, they have passion, but without the plan, the business doesn't work. So I commend you for that. Shaw University, having been in existence since 1865, has had many years to plan. It had many firsts. It's significant in many ways. It's the oldest HBCU in the South. It also was the home of the student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee when they founded in 1960. That was Shaw University. So Shaw University is known for social justice, for activism, and we definitely are committed to a better experience for people of color. And that's been the history, and that's the legacy, and that is also the future for Shaw and the Shaw School of Business and Professional Studies as well. Personally, I am an accounting professor who I'm now the dean of the School of Business. I've been here since January, and my background is accounting. So I'm an accounting professor, but even before I went into academics, I was a business owner. My husband and I, we actually owned a printing business, and he does graphic design. So we understand the heart of the entrepreneur. We also understand how very difficult it can be as an entrepreneur, but it's something that I think is just in your blood. So I'm so thankful that I can have associations with you all tonight. And I definitely know through the next 13 weeks, we want to keep updated on what's going on. One thing that Shaw is working on, especially in the School of Business, we are expanding our entrepreneurial initiatives. That's why Professor Hanif Omar is here with us. We have a center known as the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center, and that focuses a lot on what we have in common here, preparing aspiring entrepreneurs to be successful in business. We actually at Shaw have been developing an entrepreneurship certification designed specifically for Black entrepreneurs. So my vision is that after you finish with this 13-week series working on your business plan, you might say, well, what does Shaw have to offer? We call it Aspire, and it deals with issues that specifically Black entrepreneurs have to deal with. All entrepreneurs have to deal with some of the same things, but as you all know from being Black in America, it's not just what you see on paper, there's more to it than that. So if you are interested in finding out more about the Aspire Entrepreneurship Certification Program, feel free to contact me, and we're in the final phases of getting it ready to launch. So I think it will really dovetail well with this program the SCORE is now undertaking for the next 13 weeks. Thank you so much for allowing Shaw to partner with you, SCORE, and we look forward to many, many more opportunities to partner in the future.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. Professor Omar?
Yes, ma'am. So first of all, I wanted to thank Dr. Wood for having me on. And as soon as I joined on as a professor at Shaw, being an entrepreneur myself, I was introduced to Miss Patty Williams, and she's a phenomenal person. And so I'm just excited that something like this is going on, particularly in the times that we're in. I feel that business is, and small business is the bedrock of America, and is also the bedrock for social change and to seeing positive change. I know that a lot of small business owners are critical to our economy and critical to what goes on day to day in America. So I'm excited to be a part of that. One, as a professor at Shaw, but also as well meeting and collaborating with Shaw with SCORE. Long ago, as a young entrepreneur, actually a young student out of college, I wanted to. I had no pedigree as a business owner. No one in my family owned a business, and so it was a program such as this that you guys are about to embark on that really helped me and gave someone without business pedigree or background an opportunity to learn some of the things that are not necessarily taught in school. And so I'm excited about this, and I'm excited that this is going on. And like Dr. Wood said, I would like for, as we keep in contact, we have a lot of creative things that are about to come on board with the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. And we want to be a critical part to Raleigh SCORE, as well as a critical part to the development of the business owners in the Raleigh and the Triangle area. So I just think this is a great opportunity, and I want to extend whatever resources I have to you guys, and I'm looking forward to doing this and continuing in this capacity. So thank you guys for having us, and this is an honor to be here because someone helped me when I was starting my businesses as well. And so this is only a great way to be able to give back and to learn more. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I wish you guys well.
Welcome all of you as an echo some of the things that we are, how excited we are about this program and for you all being involved and for SCORE being able to partner with Shaw in this endeavor. I want to take this opportunity as well to really thank Patty Williams and her group for the tremendous amount of time and effort that they have put into putting this together. And I'm sure you guys are going to be in for a great learning experience. I would tell you that from a SCORE perspective, you know, business plan development is such a fundamental part of anybody's move toward trying to either start a business, or as I've seen from some of the chats, that a lot of you are already in business and are now going to this step, and that's a big investment. And so I congratulate you on moving to this, because it is an investment in time, but I think it's really going to pay off. For those of you that have not heard much about SCORE in general, we are SBA affiliated organization made up of volunteers. Generally, they are folks that are either active, part-time, or retired business people. And I think we have, at this point, about 360 chapters around the country. And here in Raleigh, we're proud to have one of the largest chapters in the country, made up of about 60 counselors that have a ton of experience in both small business as well as corporate experience. So what we're hoping that you can do is, once you get through with this course, that you will take advantage of what SCORE has to offer here locally in the Raleigh chapter, and that is that you can request a mentor. And I think that a lot of you here have probably had some exposure to that, but I've had the benefit of doing this since 2014, and it's been an amazing journey for me to learn about the different businesses that are out there, and I learn as much as I teach. But I think that it's always good to sort of have a sounding board and somebody to kind of help you move through this. I don't expect everybody to have completed their business plan before they leave this course. Maybe they will. But if you need help afterwards, that's part of what we do. And we just kind of help you to kind of move the ball forward, because this is a big investment, I know, and a big challenge for everybody. So I'm going to say again, thank you for participating. And we certainly are excited to have you part of this, and hope that you'll take advantage of SCORE's resources as well as our mentoring when you get finished.
So just for our agenda this evening, for our first session, we are so excited to have everybody here. The team has been working very hard to pull this together. We're very passionate about helping individuals in their aspirations to own their businesses, to make their businesses better, to start their businesses. So this is a phenomenal night for us. We were really excited. We're going to go over the next course of the next hour. We're going to go over the program and the vision and the purpose of our program that we pulled together. We're going to introduce you to some of the key individuals who helped sponsor the program, who helped create the program, and then the instructors. And then we're going to give you a high-level overview of the business plan session, as well as the well-being overview. Just to give you a little context here, everybody, you'll see that all of us are business owners or entrepreneurs, and we know that you can put together a business plan, but you also have to have the right mindset, because running your own business is a different animal. And so we wanted to make sure that we armed everybody here with not just the business plan concepts and being able to build a strong business plan, but we also wanted to make sure that you we're taking care of your well-being, that you had that in consideration, and that you had the right mindset to be a successful business owner. And then we're going to run through the syllabus. Now, this is something that we'll be able to send out afterwards. We have everybody's emails, so we're going to get this out to everybody. So you don't need to take notes or anything like that, but I'm just going to run through that high level for everybody so you can see what the next 13 weeks looks like. And then we're going to wrap things up from there. We're going to move on to the introductions of our lecturers for the next 13 weeks. So Dr. Arrington, I'll go ahead and let's just start with you and go around the horn.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I prefer Dr. Angie or Angie. It is truly a pleasure to see this come to fruition. I am one of those proteges of Patty Williams, and if you've ever had a chance to work with her, she's very passionate about what she does and very committed to making a difference among the entrepreneurial and business world, and she is a wealth of knowledge. I've also had the pleasure of being mentored by Mark Wilson for almost a year now. Can you believe that, Mark?
Yeah.
And I would say among the two of them, my business is booming. In fact, Mark and I spoke last week, and he said he was pretty doggone proud. But I am honored to be a part of this team. My business is a management consulting firm. I focus on leadership, which is my passion, but I help leaders work smarter, perform faster, and lead better. And that comes in the form of organization development and consulting, executive and management coaching, as well as professional development training. So I'm here also to learn as a part of this group who is putting this together. We all have learned so much from each other by sharing, etc. So I encourage all of you to do the same. And as Patty said, if you plan your work and work your plan, your business will also be successful. So we're looking forward to helping you along the way, and congratulations for making a great first step.
Good evening. I'm Bill Davis. I'm a business coach. I come to this with 28 years of corporate experience and then another 19 years of owning my own small business consulting and coaching business here in the Triangle area. My primary focus is in the area of client acquisition. I've worked with many small businesses, helping them get more clients and do more business with the clients they have. And I'm really looking forward to working with all of you all over the next 13 weeks as we guide you through the development of your business plans.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Darlene Thorne. I am a graduate of Shaw University Divinity School. Woo-woo!
Woo-woo!
I'm so excited to be a part of what we're doing here because the school means a whole lot to me. And I'm so glad. Thank you, Dr. Wood, for talking about how important Shaw is to our community, because it really does. It's made an impact, and it's, of course, for me, made an impact on my life. And I am a certified Sage Christian Vision coach and the CEO after A Heart After the Father. And that company is really based on helping ministry leaders' wives to really kind of practice good self-care. That's one of the things that I'm very passionate about, because I've been in ministry for well over 30 years. And so I've been able to see some of the things that happen with leadership and how they're giving, but not taking care of themselves. So I teach them how to practice good self-care, and also for them to unpack the gifts that they embody so that they can make an impact on the lives of those the people that they serve. And so I'm also really excited about being able to help those who are here, because I've seen in the comments in the chat room that there's so many people that are hopeful. I see a lot of I'm hoping to do and I'd like to do, and I really want to be an encouragement to you to show you how you can make sure you get what you need to get done, and you practice taking good care of yourself in the process. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you, because we are going to have a great time. And Patty Williams, thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to serve.
All right. So hello, everybody. My name is Sharon Shelton, and I want to echo the excitement that Darlene just expressed reading the chat with all the aspiring business folks, and deep thanks to Patty for pulling us all together and making this happen. It's just a complete honor to work with this team and to be in a position to be able to support you all as well over the next 3 months or so. As I've said, my name is Sharon Shelton. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a certified life coach. I'm also a certified mindfulness teacher, a workshop facilitator. I have over 30 years experience working with Fortune 100 companies. I've worked with small technology startups and nonprofit organizations. Most recently, I served as a vice president for a global software company for the last 12 years. I started my own business about 12 years ago as a coach and consultant, and I've worked with a wide range of clients, from solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, C-suite executives, and basically leveraging science and ancient teachings to really support people in achieving results. Yeah. So in addition to the individual work, I also work with organizations to develop and reinforce strategic thinking, mindful leadership, authentic collaboration, all that good stuff, really as a culture, because, from my perspective, wellness is just good for business. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. I'm also a founding advisor for a new startup based in Silicon Valley called Cloud Sangha, and we'll be launching next month an organization offering mindfulness mentoring. And I'm happy to talk more about that. Was voted a top life coach in Raleigh for 2017, 18, and 19. And I'm also the founder of a community here based in Raleigh that has about 3,700 people. And we essentially talk about wellness. We talk about mindset. We talk about all the things that lead to a good life. So like I said, I could not be more excited to be part of this team. And I look forward to learning more about you and your businesses.
Yes, I am, excuse me, Patty Williams. I am a registered nurse. I became a registered nurse mid-career. I had a 15-year career with IBM before I became a nurse. I had training in corporate America. So when I started my business, I had corporate training, and I worked in several hospitals around the area to get nurses training, because I knew when I became an RN that I wanted to be an entrepreneur as an RN. I didn't particularly want to work in a facility. I wanted to have something of my own. So I started a home care agency in 1999. I sold that agency in 2018. It is still in existence, and they're doing very well. What I do now is I am an RN consultant to home care agencies, and I help them to get approved to be licensed by the state. Also help them with back office and any issues that they may have running their businesses. That particular area is booming right now. There are lots of nurses and people in the community that want to go into home care because people want to be at home now. The greatest challenge that they have right now is getting good personnel to work with the clients. There are many clients, but not as many aides are available. There are people coming into the industry from other areas like retail and food service. So we're going to have to launch a lot of training in that area to bring those people on so that they can be productive. So I am a home care consultant. I've been with SCORE for about a year and a half, and I jumped right in. I've learned a lot. I've mentored with lots of clients, and it's just been great. The team that you see on here tonight, these are some of the best people that I have ever worked with. So in order for me to pull this together, it was because of their capabilities. I told them I wanted them to operate at the tip top of their experience. And they have been doing that. And so you'll get the benefit of that throughout this program. Thanks again for coming, and we hope that you'll stay with us for the entire program. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. And my name is Jay Graves. I started my career off actually in the military. I am a veteran of 10 years that I spent there. I then went into corporate America in the healthcare arena. I started off as a medical sales rep and worked my way up through the organization in mainly the commercial space of the sales and marketing functions. But as a leader, with the training and experience that I had in the military, and then as I was moving through corporate, I became really passionate about being a strengths-based leader and somebody who was able to pull the best out of people. What I found is that if you can be a strengths-based leader and you have a diverse organization and you're able to unleash the potential of your employees and their engagement, at the intersection of that is organizational excellence. And I started to turn teams around throughout my career. I started doing a lot of talks about it. People thought that I was a consultant. It was my passion. And at some point, I decided that I wanted to start my own business and do this every day to help organizations be their best. And so I started Pathfinder Business Consultants about 1.5 years ago. And one of the first things I did was I sought out mentors, because I learned throughout my career that mentors make you better. And that's how I learned about SCORE. I had a meeting with the individuals there. They helped me tweak my business plan and some of the things and roadblocks that I was running into. And I felt so passionate about what they were doing that I turned around, and about a month later, I said, hey, how do I pay it forward? How do I help out? I had a coffee and talked to some individuals, Patty being one of them. She took me under her wing as a mentor, and we've been hanging out at Shaw and helping other people since. So it's a phenomenal organization. I love what Shaw is doing and what they're doing for the community. So I honestly just feel incredibly blessed to be here and be a part of this. And I really look forward to working with everybody who's on this. I really hope you do stick for the 13 weeks. They're going to be very meaningful. It's going to be very impactful. And I guarantee you're going to get a lot out of it. So thank you for that. And I am going to go ahead and move it on now to our business planning overview of our sessions and really the intent behind that. So Bill, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Jay. So our intention in this business plan program is for you to leave the program with a completed business plan that you can and will use to fund and to run your business with the confidence to execute that plan fully. It's designed, the program, which is 13 sessions, 13 weeks, is designed so that you can select the sessions that you attend. Our intention, though, is that you attend every single one of the sessions, and let me share some reasons with you why. One, it's going to increase the probability and the possibility that you can get what you need to have a business that has the level of success that you want. Secondly, a business plan done completely will allow you to think through the critical questions to success, and it allows you to see beyond the curve so you can see what challenges you're going to encounter and gives you the time to begin to develop solutions for those. In fact, a good plan even gives you the opportunity to avoid some challenges so that you can focus your resources and time on the other. And then most importantly, I'd say that what it does is it will give you the ability to see what resources, what skills, what help you'll need so that you can begin to look, see what those are, and bring them to your business in time for them to impact the success that you're in pursuit of and intent to have. I want to share a statistic with you just very quickly. And that is that 85% of small businesses do not open their doors in the 5th year. What that means is that business success is exceptional and extraordinary. The good news is anybody that knows that can put forth an extraordinary effort to produce those extraordinary results. And the start of that extraordinary effort, in my experience, is grounded in a plan and thinking through what to do, what the challenges are. So that's what's behind us putting together and delivering this 13-week program. I encourage every one of you to go to the SCORE website and sign up for sessions 2 through 13 today. That's a plan. That's a start. Make that commitment, and we will ride that journey with you and have you complete that journey successfully. Jay?
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Sharon, can you take us through the wellness intent of the wellness sessions?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So, our intention for the wellness portion of the program is to really offer ideas and tools and practices that can support your well-being, prioritizing your well-being, so that you have the mental and the emotional and the physical resources available to make that extraordinary effort that Bill referred to, so that you can grow your business and tap your creativity, be resilient when things inevitably get challenging. Yeah, so it's really important to have the nuts and bolts in place, as Bill was talking about. But just as important, we think, is taking care of yourself, right? So that you can bring your best self to this work and not get burnt out, right? So Darlene and I will be talking about things like managing your mind and, working with stress, moving through procrastination, strengthening good habits that are going to support you. We'll be talking about really embodying this identity as either a business owner or an entrepreneur. It's one thing to say that's what you are, but how do you live into that? How do you move through the world with that mindset? And what does that even mean? What does that look like? We'll be talking about things like how do you stay committed to this vision for your business, especially when things get tough? How do you stay focused on your mission? Why did you even start it? What's compelling enough to keep you going when things get tough? How do you establish a clear vision for your business? And so, we'll dive into once you have that vision, how do you set specific, measurable, actionable goals, right, that are aligned with that mission and vision so that you can stay on track? So, we'll talk about the importance of developing habits that support those goals, right? Because you have to be making the moves, right, in order to make those things happen. And so an important part of making your vision come to life is not only taking the right steps, but having the right mindset, right? How do you work with your thoughts so that you don't get in your own way? How do you focus on those thoughts that support you and not the thoughts that bring you down? We'll discuss, how to navigate obstacles and how to develop a support system. And important to me, because of the work I do, is how do we establish a mindfulness practice? It's an ancient practice of strengthening your resilience and managing stress and developing a sense of calm in the midst of chaos. That's been a practice done for thousands of years, but now science is now proving that it has tangible effects on on how we feel, on our well-being. So really our intention is to really offer these practical tools and practices that you can begin to integrate into your day that provide this support, that offer this inner resourcing for you as you make those moves that you need to make. Because as you grow, growth is uncomfortable. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. Otherwise, you're not growing. right? So, how do we make sure we're able to keep the ball rolling as things get uncomfortable? How do we establish a support system? How do we work with our mind? How do we manage the inevitable stress? How do we move through environments that might feel uncomfortable, diverse environments? How do we handle challenging conversations? All these things are important, right? In addition to just knowing what a P&L is, because that's critical, but your well-being is just as critical, so you can make that happen. Because again, like Bill said, it's extraordinary to have a successful business after 5 years. So in order for you to be extraordinary, you have to feel good. And so that's our intention with some of the content that Darlene and I are going to be sharing, is to support you in feeling good and watching you thrive. And so Darlene, I don't know if you have anything that you'd like to share, but I think I covered it, yeah?
You got it.
Okay, all right, awesome.
We got the thumbs up. So
got the thumbs up.
Really what you're hearing from us is that we're taking a holistic approach. We're
Yes.
going to make sure that you have the plan that you need pulled together so that you are on the right track. It's well thought out. It's set up for success. You're going to know how to make changes. You're going to know what you need to do, but you're also going to have that right mindset and that wellness. I will tell you that having worked with this group for the last, 2 months now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to tell myself I had surgery, and my wellness coach is down here. We were having a meeting one day and I was recovering, and I'm running my own business, and we're working on this project. And I'm like, well, I'm staying hydrated. And they called me out because I wasn't drinking water. And since that day, I've been drinking tons of water and making sure that I take care of my body and my mind. And it truly has helped. And it was a great reminder to make sure that, you can be a business owner and you can execute on your business and you can be successful, but you need to be around to do that. You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself to be able to do that, and that you can be the top of your game. And so we wanted to make sure that we brought that holistic approach to you in these sessions. So, and I just saw in chat that there are some kind of logistics questions. So we'll make sure that we address those at the end here, make sure that you know how you can get signed up and all of that. Now, what I'm going to do is everybody had these fun parts. I was given now the death by PowerPoint part of the presentation. I'm actually going to keep this pretty high level because everybody in here will get this in a PDF. We're pulling together some tools and some kind of a workbook for you to be able to have that you can use throughout the conversations that we're going to be having over the next 13 weeks. But I just wanted to provide you a high level of what you're going to see while you're with us. And so, of course, today we're just kicking things off, introducing ourselves, learning more about you, and getting things going, and then introducing the expectations that we have as well. And then our next session, we really want to talk about the difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner. And this is something that we talked about as a group that is part of that mindset and part of that mentality, just understanding, a lot of people will interchange these concepts. And it's important to know, am I a serial entrepreneur, or am I somebody who's starting a business and I'm a business owner, and I am not standing something up for 2 years so it can be sold and like an entrepreneur or maybe a serial entrepreneur. I'm somebody who's trying to build something so that it's beyond that 5 years. I'm going to be running this in 10 years, 15, 20 years. So, we're going to kind of go through the difference there and just continue to set the foundation. And one of the things that you're going to see, the flow of our syllabus and the flow of our sessions will build the business plan each week on top of itself. So it takes a stepwise approach. So if you were to literally look at how to fill out a business plan, that's how the weeks go through. And that's why we encourage you to do your best to make the 13 sessions. And then we're going to dive right into the fundamentals of the business plan, the key points of the business plan, what a business plan does for you, and the areas that you need to focus on. And then we're going to talk specifically around your mission, your vision, your goals, and how to achieve success. I think I already said it, you're going to write those goals down, but then you got to have the right mindset to be able to pull those goals off, because as you are taking punches and ducking and everything else that comes with a new business, you got to make sure that your head's in the game. And so that's what we're going to be focused on here. And then we're going to talk about how to find customers, right? Like Bill said, he and I had a phenomenal conversation a couple of weeks ago around, what is your ideal customer? How do you find them? If you don't know that coming out of your business plan, you're really going to struggle, because you're going to talk to everybody and that's going to wear you out, and that's going to wear your resources out. So we're going to make sure that you know how to find that customer and how to cultivate that customer. And then the habits that you need to have to be successful. And then we're going to move into SWOT analysis. And really this is a opportunity to look at, what are the things that in detail that you need to have in your business plan? What are your strengths? What are some of the threats out there? What are your weaknesses that you need to consider? What are your opportunities? And getting those down and really making sure that you're thinking through those, and then that you have the right mindset, because this is where you're going to start to see, oh, okay, well, I want to do this business. It's unique to me. I think it's the best idea. This is my baby. Don't call my baby ugly. But then you realize there might be 4 or 5 other babies out there just like yours right around the corner. So, okay, that's okay. This is your passion. So how do we make sure that we mitigate some of the challenges that you're going to have? So we'll go through that. And then we're going to talk about risk mitigation, obstacles, setbacks, things that you're going to run into your business. This is just keeping it real. All of us here, we've started and we've owned our own businesses. Some of us have started and owned multiple businesses, and each one's going to come with challenges. And so we want to share best practices on how to navigate that. And then we really want to get to the crux of things. This is something that if you ever work with Patty, she is going to go straight to the financials. And how are you going to make money? How do we make money in this? And how do you understand your financials? It is a critical piece of the business plan. So we're actually going to spend 2 sessions on that, because there are different moving pieces here. We want to make sure everybody feels really comfortable with this. Again, you don't need to have an accounting degree for this. I can tell you right now that I don't mind doing analysis. I don't mind doing numbers, but it's not my desire. So as a business owner, this is somewhere, when I did my SWOT analysis, when I did my business plan, I said, I am going to have to hire somebody to do this, because it's not my strength. It's not my wheelhouse. So don't worry if this is something that you don't like numbers, or numbers scare you, or whatever. Don't worry about it. We're going to meet you where you are at. And I can tell you right now, a lot of us sat in that same seat. So you're amongst friends. And then we are going to, let me move my little thing here, goal setting. And then again, using mindfulness and practice. So what are those goals that you need to have? It's so critical. A lot of people will talk about, 1 year and 2 year and 5 year plans. Well, as a new business owner, sometimes you need something that's right around the corner, especially when you're starting to chip away, and especially when you're getting that mindset of, okay, I got this benchmark. I need to hit this. I need to hit that. It keeps you going. It keeps you on track. So we're going to teach you how to do that. And then we're going to teach you about business development and how you can go out there and how you're going to acquire business, sales, marketing. What are the things that you need to think about to get that outreach that you need? And then establishing systems of accountability, whether that's with yourself or that's with partners or vendors or whatever the dynamic is for your business. We're going to go through that. And then finally, we're going to culminate in an opportunity to have individuals share their business plan with us. We want to make sure that if you have pulled it together, you're proud of it, even if it's uncomfortable. We're not looking for perfection. I can tell you, that I've met some of those brilliant minds that they are scared to death to stand there in front of investors, or they're scared to death to stand in front of people and talk about their business, but they get through it. And you start to see the planning that they put into play, that mindset that they have into play. And so we want to give you an opportunity to be able to share your business plan. And the beauty about that is getting the feedback. Then you can think about the mentorship, other classmates. That is where you start to build a very, very powerful group to surround yourself with to help you be successful, so that when you are looking past that 5-year point and it's year 6 and year 7, and you look back at your experience here, you can say, this is the group that I surrounded myself with to help me through this. All right. And then finally, we are going to talk about celebrating successes and setbacks. Again, this is really just that part between the ears, right? It is that emotional, that EQ, it's the mindset, it's finding that supportive community. It's how are we going to now take what we've done in these last few weeks, and how are we going to get out there and make it happen? And we're going to celebrate together, and we're going to graduate to that. So, all right. So with that, are you ready? I think we are. I know the instructors and everybody who is involved with this, we are definitely ready to help. We are ready to kick this off. We really hope that we see you every week with us. We are committed to you. We are committed to your success. And with that, I am going to, let's see, what did we say? Graduate, that's right. Dr. Angie, do we have anything that we needed to share with the group as far as any of the questions they had, or links to sign up or anything there?
Yes, there were a couple things. One question, and I saw that Bill addressed it, but I'm not sure if enough people heard it. But the question is, what are the reasons that many businesses close before year 5?
Yeah, let me speak to that. That statistic includes all the reasons, and so all of it isn't about business failure. Some businesses are successful in 5 years, and the owner sells the business. Some businesses, the owner just decides they're complete with owning a business and they close it. But the largest percentage of that 85% is business failures. And we've heard many times that there's not enough capital for the business to work. Capital's really general. What there's got to be is enough business, either through reserves, capital, or incoming revenues from clients to support the cash flow of the business. And that's what'll close a business, when there's not sufficient cash flow. And I always like to distinguish. There are 2 ways that you get there. One is what you've got in reserve, right? And then your ability to acquire clients that generate revenue and maintain those clients. So that's the biggest reason that businesses fail. It's that they don't have enough revenue to cover the expenses of the business.
Yes, Bill, I would like to share a story about when I got to my 5-year mark. I think I told Bill once when we were talking, when I started my business, I put my head down and I went to work. I did not know I had hit the 5-year mark. There was a gentleman that was doing he was taking care of my computer for me. He came by one day and he said, "We have an anniversary." And I said, "What?" He said, "You started your business when I did, and we have hit 5 years." And I looked up from what I was doing. I was like, "Oh, that's good." Because I had to put everything into it. You may do the same thing. It was a little scary because I was like, oh, that was 5 years. So what is it going to take to do another 5? So I was able to do 19 and a half, but I never thought about it because it may have scared me. I just kept putting myself into the work. So that is how I handled it. But if you do the work and you're consistent, then those milestones will come and go, and you won't be as affected by it because you're doing what you need to do. But Bill is absolutely right. When I hear figures that 85% of businesses fail, it still scares me now because I wonder, how did I get into the 15%? So I just wanted to share that with you all.
Yeah, very
good. I want to build on that, if that's okay, because Aaron asked the question around, if you have an existing business, how does this program help with modifying and adapting with that? And I think, one of the things that we are all facing as business leaders or business coaches is the fact that so many people do have to change their business plan right now with what we're facing with COVID, depending on what it is you're in. But most businesses have had to change. And, my own personal experience with some of the clients that I have has been when COVID hit, some of the leaders, I will say, paralyzed, some of them wait and saw, and then some of them really leaned into it. And they were the ones that picked up the phone. They increased hours with me, and they were like, look, we need to figure something out. We got to get through this. And these are businesses that had been running for beyond the 5 years. I mean, these are established businesses, and they knew that they needed to make that change. The ones that sat stagnant, a little slower, I would say some were successful. Some are still really struggling. They finally saw that, look, I got to do something or something's going to happen. So I think what I would say is that even though there's an existing business plan, some of the stuff that we're going to be going through here may be new ideas. There are, even somebody who immerses themselves in business, anytime I'm doing something like this, or I'm with this team, or even when I'm coaching or mentoring somebody, I walk away with ideas. And so hopefully through this program, it would be the same situation for if you're an existing business owner. You're going to walk away with a couple of things that maybe in your business plan you skipped or you didn't focus on, or maybe it wasn't that important then, but then thinking about COVID and what are things going to look like? What are the pivots that you're going to have to make? Now those things are relevant. And so that way you make sure that you didn't miss anything. Not to be melodramatic, but one of the sayings in the military they taught us was, your plan survives the first shot. And the whole thing about that was having a great plan, but then also having the confidence and the ability and the foresight to be able to pivot quickly. And I think that's what we'll be able to offer here in this class.
Yeah, Jay, you're exactly right. I was going to say that the business plan is the result of learning and executing the business planning process. And it's the learning and executing of how to create a business plan that is the real gold, G-O-L-D. Because to your point, the minute the plan's finished, it's out of date. Because things change, etc. But if you know how to develop the plan, to your point, then you can go in and make adjustments, you can make modifications. When you don't have a plan, you don't know what to modify, you don't know what to adjust. And so that's the power of the plan, is how you get to the plan. Because once you know how to do that, you can do it over and over and over as needed and necessary.
I wanted to add to that too. I think all those things are absolutely wonderful. And where there is no vision, the people shall perish. Where there is no plan, the entrepreneur fails. At the same time, I think we also have to be continually inventing ourselves and reinventing ourselves. And sometimes it's sheer tenacity, it's sheer sagacity, it's survival. And just being that shark that's willing to work 18-hour days, to give up your weekends, to give up all your time, your peace, and your sleep. You've heard Les Brown say that. But it really boils down to that as well. There's another follow-on question to this same topic from Mahalingam. I hope I pronounced it right. But the question is it possible to distinguish the reasons of failure between the service-oriented business and the production-oriented business?
The practical answer is there's not a difference of consequence. A business at some level, a business is a business is a business, and a business survives off of cash flow, not even off of profit. And one of the keys to success of business is grasping that a business is a business is a business. And when you deal with those challenges, the success of your innovation, your idea, the kind of business you have has a chance. but there's not a way around the basics of business.
So before the next question, yes, the business plan is a living document, and I added a living and breathing document.
Yeah.
The next question is, I am one of those that have run my business for 5 years, but was not expanding. So I am looking to have a concrete business plan that will help me go beyond a solopreneur to a real entrepreneur with a sellable or franchisable setup.
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds like a statement of intention to me. There's not much question in that, but we will move you along that intention.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've actually had conversations as a group, those pivot points as business owners ourselves, where we realize that, do you need to start expansion? What does that look like? When do you start to have to bring in individuals to help you versus you taking it on yourself? How do you surround yourself with the right people? And so it's a very relevant question, because I think that everybody has that tipping point. If you have that tipping point already built in your business plan, and it may move forward or back, right, depending on how things go, but you do realize that, look, at this point, I'm going to be at capacity. At this point, I need to bring in this. And here's what I don't want: employees, I want this. And if you have that in your business plan, then you've built that expansion into your plan already.
I would also like to add that once you build your business plan, the market may totally change that for you. And that is especially true right now with COVID. Right now, I told you all I'm doing consulting. I thought that my consulting would mostly be with established home care businesses, that I would be helping them. But my business is helping those who want to get started. There's so many who want to get into the business. There are things I can do for an established business, but I had to shift and start to provide that service, because that's where the need is, because everything in the market has changed. So just be open to the fact that you've got this beautiful plan, it's perfect, but something happens in the marketplace or in society and everything changes. So just be very adaptable and make that change as quickly as you can.
Yes, so can we pause here and come back to the questions, because there are a number of questions about signing up.
Right.
And so I want to ask you, Patty or Jay, if you can address that. The questions are around, because I signed up today, am I already signed up for all 13, or exactly what do I need to do to make sure I'm here for the entire 13 sessions?
Okay, I'll address that. The way the program is constructed is you will need to sign up for each individual session. So you signed up for session 1, you're here tonight. For session 2, you go back into the workshop system and sign up for each individual session. However, I will say the sign-on is going to be the same for the entire 13 weeks. If you know we're on here Thursday night at 6 p.m., come back on, we'll record your attendance. We'd like for you to go into the system and sign in, but don't let that stop you. We want to help you. Come back in on Zoom, we'll be here, we'll help you, we'll record your attendance. And we also are looking at providing a way for you to catch up on sessions that you missed. We will make an announcement about that, and we'll tell you where to go to get the information. But it would help us a lot if you go back to the SCORE, RaleighSCORE.org, and sign up for the session. But I do not want that to stop you. We want you to come back every time you have a chance to be with us on Thursday night. We will receive you.
So Patty, Cynthia is saying she signed up as far as session 8. I think you addressed that earlier.
Yes, I guess she's saying she signed up for sessions 1 through 8.
Yes.
So the other sessions should appear on the list. They appear chronologically. And since we're not the only sessions going on, there's a number of other workshops that SCORE is putting on. So you have to go back and check when they come, you know, onto the screen or they're available. Many of you have probably received those emails about you can now register for session 2, you can register for session 3. They technically don't become available for registration until 2 weeks before the session, but you can register ahead. So don't worry about it. Just keep checking and eventually you'll see all of the sessions, but come back anyway.
Thank you. So the next question is from Aaron, and Aaron is explaining that he's a new entrepreneur and realized that he had to navigate what he calls gatekeepers who hold access to new business. How does a business plan address that?
Yeah, I can take that. That's something that we would address in the SWOT. So that's where we would have that opportunity to talk about who are the gatekeepers, who are the people that you're going to have to, you know, partner with, deal with, you know, who are the agencies, depending on what you're doing. I mean, you name it, depending on what it is your business is. That's something that you identify in that SWOT. And then that's where you would also identify, okay, you know, is something critical? This is a hard person or a hard gatekeeper to get through, but I have to get through to be successful, to move my business forward. What are some of the things that I can do to plan around that? And that really falls under that SWOT session. All right, we kind of slowing down on the questions.
There was also a question from Harold. He says the biggest issue is that he's completely lost in the entire process of starting a business, but he's here, he's all for it. And, you know, amen to that, right? And, you know, it's kind of like that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You know, it's kind of like, how do you identify what the process is and how do you break that down into actionable steps that you can take consistently? And that's really the key. You know, a lot of things can seem overwhelming, but when you look at it in terms of what comprises that big thing, you can always break it down and you can always do one step at a time, and one step at a time will get you there. So totally understand the overwhelm, completely natural and normal, but there's ways to work with that, and hopefully we'll offer some tips and tools around that. Yeah.
And you know, I think also too, Sharon, you know, allowing yourself that space, that mind space to be able to untangle yourself. I know that I have to do that personally. I have a whiteboard that I have right here, and that's what that whiteboard is for. That is actually I'm going out of control. I need to hit my whiteboard. That's my mechanism.
Yes.
And so when I start to feel like, oh my goodness, you know, I'm volunteering here. I just signed up for this. I got this going on. I need to make this. I got this gatekeeper I need to talk to. And then I'm like, what am I doing? You know, I look at my calendar and I just start blocking time off. It's me time. Yeah. And that's when I hit that board. And that's when I sit there and say, okay, all right, I got my plan.
Jay, I do the same exact thing. There's so many things I'm excited about to do. And, you know, some folks I talk to and they feel that feeling of overwhelm and they think something is wrong. Like they're not cut out for it, or they don't know what to do, and they collapse around the overwhelm. Right. But, you know, it's as long as you have a system or some process where you can get everything out of your brain and get it on. I love whiteboards. I have 3 whiteboards all over the house, and get it out of your brain and get it down and see exactly what needs to be done. Maybe you need an additional resource. Maybe there's some additional information that you need to get that particular task done. But getting it out and actually planning it out is the key, and whiteboards will be your friend.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll find that there are things that you don't need to do right away.
Yes.
You don't have to do it all. And that's going to be key. And I think that's why the whiteboards are so important, because then you're able to then untangle all of that stuff that's going on inside. And you're able to sit back and then observe, okay, do I need to do these things? What are the urgent things? What are the important things? And what are the things that I can do, but not now? It's not necessary for now. So you get to put things in order. And that definitely gives another sense of peace, and it takes away some of that overwhelm.
And that's when it's great to know yourself, right? Like I said, I do the strength-based leadership. And, you know, as part of that, it's understanding and unleashing your strengths, but it's also understanding what are those things that might get in your way, right? About your personality profile. And then how do you build mechanisms around that so they don't get in your way? You know, you just kind of deal with them and you embrace them. And I know there's a couple.
I was just going to say, and Harold, I would say your next most critical step is show up next week.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's not a follow-on question, but probably the one question everybody would like to know about. What's the best way to deal with barriers into private investors or angel investors?
Have a great business plan. Have a great pitch. Have a great business plan.
Show them
have
the
a great
money.
pitch. You know, there are venture capital groups here that are specifically looking to invest in minority-owned businesses. And I think Bill hit it when he was going over his portion. You know, our intent is that you would have something that you felt good about that you could put in front of an investor if that's part of your business plan. So, you know, that's where I would encourage just having that business plan, those financials. They will go through that. They want to know what they are investing in. They're investing in you. So having that mindset, having that confidence of the plan is key. At least from the interactions that I've always seen with VCs and angel investors, those are the things that I consistently see that they look for is you and your plan.
Absolutely.
Next question is from Gerard Dowdy. Is this Teresa's brother, Gerard? I think so. Oh my God. Teresa's my daughter's friend. I want to build a business from the ground up. Literally, I need a building to be constructed or find a building that will fit what I need for my business. I feel I need funding. How and where do I find it? Business plan.
Business plan, same thing. What you might find is that you and I don't know, right? We don't know yet. We're in introductions here. So as we go through the process, you know, we'll learn more about the businesses. You may find that is it that you need to build something? Do you need to lease something? So I'm partnering in a company that does distribution for the VA. At first, my partners wanted to build something. It's down in Wilmington, Hurricane Central. No. So we just found an old place where they were practically giving it away because they can't find anything. It's over by the airport, and we were able to get a great deal. You know, you may find that transition space, you know, one of the things, and I'm just using this example, one of the things we looked at was, well, we could just lease space with UPS and they'll handle everything for you. You know, so that again, you know, as I was helping my partners down there who I was helping them with their business plan, you know, those are some of the things that we had to talk about when it came to like building space and things like that. So again, it's a part of the plan. It's something that you'll explore in your business planning process. And if you need the funding, then that's when you say, is it a bank? Is it an investor? Is it partners? Is it, you know, co-leasing? You come up with that in your plan.
Yeah. And
the next question is that what, I'm sorry, Patty, go ahead.
Jay is absolutely right. They're investing in you. So when you build that business plan, if you built it brick by brick, when you go before that banker or those investors, when they bring up objections, you let them know you've already considered that you think you have what it takes to overcome it. So they'll be investing definitely in you and what you can do with the resources that they allow you to use. So as he said, building the business plan and having a great pitch and a great delivery, but you've got to be confident in order for someone to invest in you or give you the money you need to move your business forward.
Thank you. So that next question is around how soon should I get a SCORE mentor? Do I need to wait till the end of the 13 sessions?
Yeah, I hope y'all don't mind. I typed a response in there. That was my personal viewpoint. So maybe we have other ones here.
I didn't even see it. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. What I typed in there was that I would recommend that you go through because we're going to hit things along the way. if you jump to get a mentor now, we may have already hit something in the process that we would have already hit. If you go through the process, then we'll be laser focused on a specific area. Is it something that, we only touched on during this, but it is mission critical for your business and you really need that mentor? Or is it something that we hit during this time? You asked a couple of questions and you're like, I'm good. I don't need somebody. I'll call you guys when I need somebody. So that's just my personal view, is that go through the process and then just know then we are definitely here.
Well, I would like to add to that. It could go either way, because if you have a mentor and you're working on things with your mentor, we could supplement what you're doing with your mentor, because they're going to know what we're teaching and we may be able to add to what they're doing, because there's many on the line tonight that have mentors. I've seen several of my clients on here. So it'll be a supplement to what we do outside of this. We may address specifics for your business, when we're talking as mentors, but then there's many generic things you can get here. Either way will work. It's what you feel comfortable with. If you're on the line and you're already working with a mentor, by all means, continue, because there are some things that they can give you that we won't specifically address here, especially if it's related directly to your business. So that's my opinion on it.
It's a great point, Patty. I hope I see some of my folks on here.
So the next one is, how many of you have personal assistants or virtual assistants? What are the pros and cons? I'll take that one to start. I brought on a virtual assistant maybe about 4 months ago. I wish I had done it 4 months sooner. She is absolutely amazing, very helpful, definitely keeps me being able to do more things that are much more critical for me to focus on as it relates to Bill's point, generating that cash flow. So never be afraid to spend money. It does take money to make money, and we need help. So if you have someone in mind, I'd give them a try.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to say, I don't have a VA, but I use frequently contractors. I use Upwork.com quite a bit to outsource specific skill sets, for example, design or website development, because there are things that I could do, but it would take me much longer to do as opposed to paying someone to do it in a much shorter period of time. And, I was very resistant in the very beginning of my business years ago to spend any money, because I wanted to keep all the money, right, to live, right? So to pay my mortgage, right?
Right.
But what I realized is my time is very valuable. So I had to think about it in terms of what's the best use of my time. Is it better for me to use my time to build a website? Or is it better for me to use my time networking or creating content or calling potential clients? So when I thought about it that way, it just made complete sense for me to, if I believed in my business and if I believed in myself, to actually go ahead and outsource for those specific things that I didn't feel were, quote, my genius work.
Exactly. What is our time worth? That's the thing. Looking at what our time is worth.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and put the URL for Upwork in the chat, and feel free to check it out. I've used them for years, and I've had a really good experience.
Yeah, it's a great program. I've used that one, and I mean, like you said, I'll have a problem, and I'll think I just need somebody who is that is their thing.
Yeah.
And bid on it and move on.
Absolutely.
The next question is there any training on completing a 501c3 application?
We don't have that as part of the curriculum right now, but we could, Patty, I don't know, we could take that back and maybe have a one-off or add it in.
Yes, well, one thing that we do at SCORE, if you do have a mentor and there's a specific need that you have, we will find resources for you to assist with that. So if that is a need, you put it in the chat. We'll start to look for that. But any of you that may have something unique that you want to learn, or you'd like to do that we may not specifically address, we have a wealth of knowledge in the organization. And the team in the organization, they know what we're doing. They're going to back us up with their expertise. We can find someone to help you.
So there's another 501c3 request. So just feel free to follow up per Patty's prior response. And then this next one is, what resources can you share on secretarial/personal assistance? I think Upwork is one. Is there another we can drop in the group?
Well, I'm going to suggest start with Upwork, because our Upwork is the supermarket for virtual resources. And it's a great place to learn how to request and procure virtual resources. And then you can move to specific skill type markets. So Upwork's probably the best place to start for any kind of virtual resource.
So this next question is, are there any resources for documents and LLC to send to the state of NC for business? I would just say that on the state's website, you can file any organizational structure, whether it's sole proprietorship or corporation. It's very simplistic. Just go to the Secretary of State for North Carolina and type in what you're looking for. It's very user-friendly. And if you get stuck, they have their phone number there and they're very responsive.
Yeah, resources for veteran-owned businesses. Yeah, that also is online. It's a little more convoluted, I have to admit, to go through that process. So my business is a veteran-owned, and it's an SDVOSB, and you have to go through federal for that through Beta SAM. So I can. It's a lengthy process for that one. But if you want, I'll put my information in and we can get offline on that one.
So this,
I actually just got a note from Mark Froman. He is a SCORE mentor, and he has lots of experience with mentoring 501c3 organizations. So Mark and I work together a lot. So I'll be going to Mark to see what we can put together for you all. He is on with us tonight. He's a great mentor. Thank you, Mark.
So this one is, it's a statement. Yes, Talita, outsourcing is definitely an important resource to have. I'm one of those entrepreneurs who is interested in the contract manufacturing space. Do enterprise zones exist within the city of Raleigh, which are located on the public transportation routes? Would there be buildings which might be available to create jobs for persons in a socioeconomic disadvantaged category? I don't mean to get too far ahead with my questions.
That may be one that we'll have to address later. We'll have to pull together some information on that, but Keeler, we'll get back to you on that.
And then I'm sorry, Kristen, I skipped your question. Are we going to address LLC versus SCORE?
We can go into that in one of our courses. Mm-hmm. We'll get something on that. What we're doing tonight, you all, is these are great questions. We thank you so much for using the chat the way that you're using it. Our team will assemble quickly after these sessions, and we will build for you whatever it is that you need. We will find resources. So we'll make sure you get what you need. You're asking us, will we do it? The deal is you ask us for it. We'll figure out how to do it for you. If that's what you need, then we will find a way to deliver it. So just keep sending the questions. Don't hold back. If there's something you need, we'd like to know about it so that we can tailor the content for you.
Yeah, Patty, there's a question around the if there's a session missed. So we're recording these, and they'll be shared.
Yes, the sessions are being recorded, and Freeman Jackson, who is our IT person with SCORE, has a plan to get those on YouTube, and you'll be able to go to the Raleigh SCORE website to access that information. It will take 3 to 4, maybe 5 business days for him to get it there, but we have a plan for that, because if you miss a session, we want you to be able to catch up. So we will have that out there. We will announce it to you, show you where to go, and make sure that you know where the information is.
I don't see any new questions at this point.
All right. Well, you know, Patty, do you have any closing comments? I know this has been interactive. I certainly have enjoyed it. I'm sure the team has enjoyed it. And we are excited to be, you know, kicking this off, and love the interaction. You know, I got to say, anytime I've ever done anything on like a workshop or something, I always worry, is it going to be crickets? And I had that same concern, and I love the fact that everybody is leaning in, and I really look forward to having this journey with the team and with the group here. So, Patty, any final comments from you?
Well, I just want to thank everyone for coming. We would love to see you come back each and every week. If you miss a week, don't worry about it. I mentioned the recordings. Come back and be with us, and we'll make sure that we make it worth your time. It looks like at this point, we've kind of wound it up for the evening. One promise we'll make to you is we're not going to waste your time. If we have sessions where we end early, we will end there. We will not go over. So this is one of those sessions where we can probably go ahead and end if everyone has their questions answered. We will save the chat, we'll go through it and start to build a program that's tailored exactly for you. So thank you all so much. If there's nothing else, then we're ready to close.
Very good.
Everyone
have a good evening.
Yes.
Thanks,
Good night,
everyone.
all. Thank you.
Thank you all. See you next week.
Take care.
Everybody. Have a
Bye-bye,
great
all.
night.
Thank you for joining us for Session 1. Up next is Session 2, which is now open for registration. Simply go to raleigh.score.org, workshops, and register today. The session date is September 10th at 6 p.m. The session title is The Importance of Understanding the Difference Between an Entrepreneur and a Business Owner. We hope you enjoyed today's session. We look forward to working with you in the upcoming sessions. See you then.